Teeth Daggers stream. Today we're gonna be watching a few videos, maybe just one, the newest Patrick CC video, and then we're gonna get back to editing. We're mostly gonna be watching a sneak peek because almost all the editing is done, so make sure not to click off. Thank you for supporting this channel, Teeth Daggers stream. So I hope you have your water and your snacks, and if you partake, your green and your caffeine for this episode of Teeth Daggers stream. Alright guys, let's get back into it. I forgot to put on the music. Oh no. Let's do that again then. Oh, welcome back to another episode of Teeth Daggers stream. Today we're going to be watching the new Patrick CC video and seeing what's up with it. Some crazy drama is going down later on in today's Teeth Daggers stream as well, so stay in tune. Also, we are going to be taking a sneak peek at the video I've been editing for 3 months about how Tommy G and Punch Made Dev has scammed us all. So stay in tune for this episode of Teeth Daggers stream. Make sure that you have your water and your snacks, and if you partake, have your green and your caffeine. Let's get right into today's stream by Face and Screen. Boom, Face and Screen. Turn off the music. Go. We have this Patrick CC video all queued up. I already watched a little bit of it, but since I had to restart the stream.
Bill Burr's comedic persona is the loud, overconfident guy at the end of the bar. He fearlessly voices exactly what is on his mind, whether he is on daytime television or sitting across the table from you. However, Bill cannot be dismissed as some blue-collar loudmouth drunk. He is highly educated and will accurately expose your insecurities. These are some of the people who have been trolled, intimidated, and dismantled by the gab of Bill Burr, starting with Theo Von, one of the sweetest and most beloved comedians who was robbed of his charm. In 2019, Theo Von invited Bill to be on his This Past Weekend podcast. At this point in his career, Theo was just starting to become a household name. However, Bill wasn't very familiar with his material nor his fan base, which set the conversation off to a weird start. Theo was a huge fan of Bill and naturally started.
Jesus. Hold on guys, I always have trouble. Like, for some reason it won't let me leave. And it just makes it small. Watch. See, and then there's no, like, X there. Oh. You just push it to the side. There we go. Alright, so what was he fucking saying?
Bill Burr's comedic persona is the loud, overconfident guy at the end of the bar. He fearlessly voices exactly what is on his mind, whether he is on daytime television or sitting across the table from you. However, Bill cannot be dismissed as some blue-collar loudmouth drunk. He is highly educated and will accurately expose your insecurities. These are some of the people who have been trolled, intimidated, and dismantled by the gab of Bill Burr, starting with Theo Von, one of the sweetest and most beloved comedians who was robbed of his charm. In 2019, Theo Von invited Bill to be on his This Past Weekend podcast. At this point in his career, Theo was just starting to become a household name. However, Bill wasn't very familiar with his material nor his fan base, which set the conversation off to a weird start. Theo was a huge fan of Bill and naturally started picking Bill's brain about the comedy and entertainment industry. So from the beginning, they established a hierarchy where Theo seems like an aspiring comic looking for advice.
I was just like experiencing like a ton of stress, man, burnt out. You know, I've been on the same tour for this hour for almost over a year now.
You gotta toughen up, man.
Yeah, you're right, huh?
You know?
What do I do, you think?
Camouflage hat, looking like a fucking backwoods guy, all tough and shit. You can't handle doing your hour again? I mean, come on, man.
But they're just kidding. He's just totally kidding. Like, even Theo Von's laughing at it. This isn't a serious situation.
Suck it up!
Bill probably had a hard time relating to Theo's mental health struggles since he grew up around blue-collar Boston men who worked themselves into an early grave. Then again, this was just harmless ball busting, but an early sign of what was about to come.
I just think I have a tough time working with other people sometimes, you know? I just think
Well, I would say get over that. Get over yourself and get over that, because there's a lot of great people in this business and you're going to miss out. And I don't know.
no,
You know what?
I
You'll
totally
say
respect that.
your loved ones will save money on the funeral costs because no one's going to go. So there's not going to be too many snacks they got to put together.
You could see Bill was about to be more serious with Theo, but then paused and decided to defer to a silly joke. That wouldn't last.
She'd have a rough day and she'd come in. And
I don't remember the whole show.
I can explain it to you.
Yeah.
If I can explain it to
Okay,
you.
good.
This fucking guy just I don't know what that is. All right.
No, I believe it.
I'm not into it. I don't want to hear it. I got it. Your show. Go ahead.
All right, let's talk about old shows then.
We don't have to. You
Patty Duke. What
you
about
made me
that?
feel like an asshole. Like that was the
did I
15th
really?
time I fucking brought it up.
Bill is becoming increasingly agitated with him, but Theo is making a huge mistake here. Theo is known for his airheaded yet poetic thoughts about life. He also speaks exactly what is on his mind, but it feels like the intrusive thoughts of someone with more heart than brains. Theo keeps switching in and out of being serious and being funny, making it difficult for Bill to riff with him. They both can't decide when the other person is making a joke or being serious.
See, that's what I think is going on with me and Patrick CC, is I think that they're not being serious, but Patrick CC is seeing this as kind of an argument. But Patrick CC might have more to add, so let's find out what he's got to say. And I'm gonna log into Twitch.
And by the end, Theo felt defeated, and Bill could sense it.
What about the nice guys? Oh, you got to see that.
Oh, what's the nice guys?
No, I don't know. I think you're looking down. You got your
No, I
jaw
watched it.
out. You got your jaw out. It's very
No.
confrontation. I'm feeling like you're not liking my suggestions. You just like you like the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This guy's dead to me. He's dead to me.
This was like watching two guys having to hang out because their wives are friends. This is what it looks like when your two cool friends meet for the first time and don't hit it off like you thought. Bill said he had a great time, but fans provided empathy for Theo since they know he is humble and vulnerable. They could tell he was disappointed with himself, and Theo addressed the pod a few days later.
He was Bill Burr to a T. He's brash. He's
Buy on blue, sell on red. This new indicator gives extremely accurate
I thought Theo Von did fine, man. He was laughing. He wasn't confrontational. He didn't try to kick. He didn't get mad. He didn't kick him off. The other guy, Bill, didn't walk off. This scary music in the background is making this seem like a bigger deal.
he's poignant. He's exact. You know, he really is like a NASA, you know, like a rocket, you know, and I'm more like sometimes like Phil Armstrong, you know. You find me just kind of moseying around on the moon, you know, monitoring how I feel.
You see, Bill only gets serious when you make him. Sometimes it's better to just
Moseying around on the moon and muttering how I feel. At first I didn't get that, but it actually makes sense. That's funny. Because on the moon, you have to monitor how you feel with, like, actual things.
sit back and let him beat you up a little bit, like how Joe Rogan did after Bill absolutely dismantled him.
Want people to walk down the street with a mask on?
Let's not start this, Joe.
Do you, though?
Let's not start this.
But before Rogan gets humbled by Bill, a quick word from our sponsor, Aura. Are you tired of receiving those spam? Go to aura.com/PatrickCC today to start your 2-week free trial. Also linked in the description below. Thanks, Aura.
Okay.
Let's
Alright, here's my version of the commercial. So, remember, this guy's about to get humbled by the other guy. So, here's actually my version of the commercial. Well, let's actually... Fuck, I don't want to finish this because I'm out of weed. But let's finish this for VOD's sake.
start it.
I don't want to start this. I'm not going to sit here with no medical degree, listening to you with no medical degree, with an American flag behind you, smoking a cigar, acting like we know what's up. I just love how wearing a mask became like this like soft thing that you were doing, like being
it's for
courteous. Being courteous. Why is it for bitches? That was so
You're wearing a
stupid.
mask. First of all, it's
Oh,
not-
God, you're so tough with your open nose and throat. Gee, Joe, and your 5 o'clock shit.
I don't get what they're even arguing about, chat. Chat, let me know what they're arguing about, please, because I can't make a comment on this. It seems like, to me, they both don't want to wear a mask. Is that what's going on here?
Information, or you can go to aura.com/PatrickCC today to start your
No medical degree. Listening to you with.
Let's start it.
I don't want to start this.
to start your 2-week free trial. Also linked in the description below. Thanks, Aura.
Okay.
Let's start it.
I don't
Let's start it.
want to start this. I'm not
I don't want to start it.
going to sit here with no medical degree, listening to you with no medical degree, with an American flag behind you, smoking a cigar, acting like we know what's up.
Oh, he's saying that he just doesn't know. Oh shit, I forgot to keep my mic close to me. He's just saying he doesn't even know. And then I think Joe is saying he knows.
I just love how wearing a mask became like this like soft thing that you were doing, like being
it's for
courteous. Being courteous. Why is it for bitches? That was so
You're wearing a
stupid.
mask.
Oops, I forgot to tell him thank you for watching the commercials.
First of all, it's
Oh
not-
God, you're so tough with your open nose and throat. Gee, Joe, and your 5 o'clock shadow. This is a man right here. A man doesn't wear a mask.
But this wasn't the only
Oh, so I get it. Joe was saying Joe Rogan. Here, I have to wait for the commercial before I could even talk. Oh, so I get it, man. What Joe Rogan is saying here is fucking... He thinks he should wear a mask. And this guy is saying, oh, you're a big macho man. A macho man doesn't wear a mask. Get it, I got it.
time Joe just gave up after Bill roasted him.
Does it make you more aggressive?
What?
Elk.
No, Joe, you lunatic. Somebody gets in my face, that might cause me to get more lunatic. I eat a little bit of protein. You had to beat the fuck out of people for like 3 decades before you could like chill, smoke a little weed, put on your little rascal's hat, and just fucking chill out. You don't understand. I love him to death. But this guy is the most testosterone fucking filled dude I've ever met. That's why I love him. I love him.
Notice how Bill reaffirms that he loves Joe despite him being the butt of the joke. He often reminds people it's okay to laugh
But also, when you get up and put your hand on somebody's shoulder and they're kind of looking down like that, the other person who's putting your hand on them is kind of like, imagine a boss doing that. Like he's wearing a business suit and he comes over to your side of the desk and he puts his hands on your shoulder and they're like, it's all right, Jim. Like, when they're doing something sketchy or maybe firing the guy. It's kind of an assertion of dominance, I feel like. And did you see Joe's, like, body language right here? Or...
But this guy is the most testosterone fucking filled dude I've ever met. That's why I love him. I love him.
Notice how Bill reaffirms that he loves Joe despite him being the butt of the joke. He often reminds people it's okay to laugh at themselves. Making fun is his way of showing love towards someone. A perfect example of this is Bill's endless jokes towards Colin Cowherd, who hosted a sports radio show on ESPN. Him and Bill are great friends, which is why Colin knows to just laugh when Bill is sending shots his way.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
Giant desk.
When guys come and sit on the couch, I go right after them. Do you respect me for that?
No, I don't. Your big dumb desk hiding behind your microphone.
And don't even think about asking Bill a
I respect you for that.
dumb question.
You're in your comedy prime right now. Like this is, you got about 8 years left.
How do you judge that?
Because your energy level is high, you're nimble. I mean, dude.
And what do you do? I'm not like an athlete.
Yeah, but come on, like, eventually your health has got to affect your brain.
I'm going to blow out an Achilles and I can't write a joke anymore.
Like I said, Colin knows how to laugh it off and remain in good spirits. But some people think Bill is actually the insecure one. Sometimes a harmless question is asked and Bill is the one who takes it the wrong way.
Bill, are you the head writer on the show, or how do you work in the writer's room on the show? Because you write your stand-up specials, obviously you're a writer, but you've never really written on a sitcom before. If you go through your credits, you hadn't really been on a show before.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Just right out of the gate, he goes negative. Never really saw you write on anything before, Bill. There was all these other nice things.
Because he's being like Bill, yo. He knows what Bill's gonna bring to the table. So he's trying to get the jump on him. And then it seemed like Bill couldn't handle it. Although, I know he's about to bust a joke out right now. So he probably could handle it. But he can't a little bit because he has to bust a joke. He has to go to his main defense.
On your IMDb page I could have brought up, but I noticed this one glaring thing that you've never done.
Sure, maybe the interviewer could have rephrased the question to, how different is writing comedy on a show versus on stage? It was pretty clear this guy was not trying to offend him. The same thing can be said about this interviewer.
Here in the Emily Fan Cave hanging out with actor-comedian Bill Burr.
I like that you said actor-comedian.
Well,
I usually go comedian-actor. Look, dude, if you saw my IMDb page, you'd definitely know it was comedian-actor. Yeah, it's a quick read.
After all, Bill admits himself that he
I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. What do you mean it's a quick read? He's way too cocky.
had a hard time understanding people's intentions throughout his whole life, which usually led to anger.
Let's look at him. Who is... Here. He doesn't like being considered a comedian? Old Days, Leo, never heard of any of these movies. Outer Banks, never heard of it. Puppy Dog Pals, never heard of it. Dog, never heard of it. F is for Family. I've heard of that. Nice. Okay. Immortal Compass. Back Again. I've never heard of any of these. The Front Runner. I might have heard of that. The King of Staten Island. I might have heard of that. I don't know. The Opening Act. Look at the stars. These two are 8.2. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoa, this one's almost 9. The Mandalorian. I should probably fucking watch that. Wow. That's like a 9-star show. I'm probably gonna watch this show. Alright, fine. He's an actor.
Anger or jokes. If someone was really nice, I would just be like, get away from me. If someone was an asshole, it's like, oh, that seems familiar. For whatever reason, I don't like being complimented. Well, fortunately for Bill, he didn't have to worry about being complimented on this next one, because he made enemies with the entire city of Philadelphia after they relentlessly booed him during his set. While Bill was developing as a comedian in the 90s and early 2000s, he gained some notoriety on Comedy Central Presents and through regular appearances in The Chappelle Show, but many attribute a large jump in Bill's popularity to the Opie and Anthony radio show, where he's regularly been a guest over the years. In 2006, many Opie and Anthony show regulars were on the Traveling Virus Comedy Tour, such as Tracy Morgan, Bob Saget, Ralphie May, and Patrice O'Neal, to name a few. The tour was very successful, with the second show in the lineup breaking Jay Leno's record for the most tickets sold for a comedy show at New Jersey's PNC Bank Arts. Anger or jokes. If someone was really nice, I would just be like, get away from me. If someone was an asshole, it's like, oh, that seems familiar. For whatever reason, I don't like being complimented. Well, fortunately for Bill, he didn't have to worry about being complimented on this next one, because he made enemies with the entire city of Philadelphia after they relentlessly booed him during his set. While Bill was developing as a comedian in the 90s and early 2000s, he gained some notoriety on Comedy Central Presents and through regular appearances in The Chappelle Show, but many attribute a large jump in Bill's popularity to the Opie and Anthony radio show, where he's regularly been a guest over the years. In 2006, many Opie and Anthony show regulars were on the Traveling Virus Comedy Tour, such as Tracy Morgan, Bob Saget, Ralphie May, and Patrice O'Neal, to name a few. The tour was very successful, with the second show in the lineup breaking Jay Leno's record for the most tickets sold for a comedy show at New Jersey's PNC Bank Arts Center. However, the third show in Camden, New Jersey, just across the Delaware River from Philadelphia, didn't go nearly as well. The drunk and unruly Philly crowd on a hot afternoon outdoor show set the tone by booing the opening act off stage. They'd continue to
Who's the opening act? Did it say it back there?
Bill was developing as a comedian in the 90s and early 2000s, he gained some notoriety on Comedy Central Presents and through regular appearances in The Chappelle Show, but many attribute a large jump in Bill's popularity to the Opie and Anthony radio show, where he's regularly been a guest over the years. In 2006, many Opie and Anthony show regulars were on the Traveling Virus Comedy Tour, such as Tracy Morgan, Bob Saget, Ralphie May, and Patrice O'Neal, to name a few.
Oh, it didn't even tell us who the opening act was, man. It just said the most popular people.
The tour was very successful. Bill wasn't having it with this crowd. He gave up 7 minutes into a 20-minute set. Bob Saget and Patrice O'Neal the rest of the night, as those who had yet to perform were dreading their set. Tracy Morgan gave up 7 minutes into a 20-minute set. Bob Saget and Patrice O'Neal did well, but Bill wasn't having it with this crowd. He got defensive on behalf of his comedian friends, which led to an all-out roast session from the beginning.
Oh, f*** all you people. You know what, you f***ing losers? I hope you all f***ing die, and I hope the f***ing Eagles never win the Super Bowl. Go f*** yourself.
Oh yeah, he wasn't holding back.
Let's talk about heart disease, something you're all gonna f***ing die of, and I'm gonna...
Whoa, he's a comedian, but he's actually getting mad. Comedians are supposed to be super good at not getting mad, because that's how they win. This actually does seem mad. It's not just a disagreement. This actually does seem mad. It's not just a disagreement between me and Patrick CC.
Laugh at your funeral.
I'm gonna give you my #1 tip to get over a breakup, and that is gonna be going to therapy. Going to therapy helped me so
It's gonna be great. You're all gonna get f***ing cancer, which is fantastic because all your f***ing heads are shaved anyways. No one's even gonna notice.
If you can believe it, it gets so much worse. Every minute that goes by, he decimates every possible thing about Philadelphia. He says if there was a terrorist attack on Philly, nobody would care.
Rocky is your hero. The whole pride of your city is built around a f***ing guy who doesn't even exist.
A man interrupts him from the crowd. Bill responds.
What do you have to say, sir? Never passed the f***ing 8th grade? What brilliant shit are you gonna f***ing tell me, huh? Go back to the dock and go unload some shit. You warehouse working, weed smoking, disappointment for your mother.
Obviously, most people were offended, but others started to...
What's wrong with being a warehouse working, weed smoking motherfucker? That actually sounds like a good ass dude. Work. That sounds like the opposite of a stoner. And that's like... That's what stoners like. We like people like that because they're like, no, we work fucking hard. Just because we're a stoner doesn't mean we don't work fucking hard. And that actually is like a thing, a warehouse working, weed smoking, alcohol drinking son of a bitch. That's a thing. What's wrong with that?
To respect his determination to fight an entire crowd of angry people.
7 minutes left! 7 motherfucking minutes left! And I'm doing all f***ing 7!
As the minutes count down, the insults progressively get more bleak, until the end where he says he wishes he had a weapon to use.
I take that back. I don't think that he was actually mad. I think this was a publicity stunt. And I think that he saw how the crowd was reacting to his first time getting mad, since they expected him to be a funny man. They expected it to be a joke anyway. And after he calmed down, he kept going with it because the crowd reacted well. That's what I actually expect here. That's my final speculation. I don't think he was mad. Boom.
Use on every single person in the crowd, and in some backwards twist of fate, they loved it and cheered for him as he quadrupled down on his hatred towards them while walking off stage.
Listen, I'm on
I literally just called that. I literally just said that. I knew Patrick CC was tricking me.
You guys were here, man. Thank you very much. All of you go f yourselves in your own assholes. Have a good night.
Bill single-handedly destroyed everything the city of Philadelphia loves, and they cheered for him as he left the stage. This rant made national headlines. Bill's fame leveled up immensely, but he claims it didn't help him
And he said, have a good night.
sell more tickets. It definitely stamped his persona of being an unruly jerk with a short temper that will say literally anything that is on his mind. In retrospect, Bill believes he was unprofessional and threw gas on the Philly crowd fire. He doesn't regret it, but he never wanted people to think that he is just a shock jock with a loud mouth. He spent the next decade proving to the world that he is actually an artistic comedian who is just a tad bit savage at times. And he did his best trying to be sensitive during his interview with Ethan Klein, but eventually he ran out of patience. Ethan Klein is one half of the H3H3 duo with his wife Hila. Ethan developed a reputation on YouTube over the years.
Damn, I love how Patrick CC is able to do these quick flashes. He finds a perfect little video, mutes the video, does the narration, but the way he does his narration is so good because it's like quick, short, and to the point. And he does it so, and that makes him able to do it for every little segment. And that's what I think attracts me to his videos. I'm just realizing that now. Holy shit. Good job, Patrick CC, if you're watching this, brother.
For being a hilarious reaction channel. He created iconic skits and bits that are worthy of being considered YouTube Hall of Fame. In short, people thought he was funny. But while sitting across from a comic legend on the H3 podcast, Ethan was nervous.
You know what I mean? If you went to whatever Comic-Con of podcasting, would you be nervous?
Yes.
All right.
nervous.
Well, you're
talking to a nervous guy. I'm so neurotic.
Whoa, I love how this is his style of not playing video games. He does the narration. He mutes some of the same video he's about to play. But the part that he mutes isn't important. And then he narrates it. And then he unmutes the part that he's talking about. Whoa, that's how fucking video is made right there. Holy shit. Guys, I'm going to make a video about this, and it's going to be called... First, I'm going to criticize Patrick CC for, like, over-dramatizing things. But now it's going to be called Patrick CC is the best video documentarian, and here's why. Something like that. Here's why Patrick CC is Patrick CC the best video documentarian. It's going to be just me reacting to his videos. But then I'm going to put a break forward and a break down in it. And oh my god, it's just going to be this video too. This video is crazy. Wow.
I am nervous. I'm nervous right now.
Okay.
Very nervous.
I don't think that's going to help.
How do you?
Despite this, Ethan remained pretty smooth for the first hour, but he would interrupt Bill a lot.
I don't know. I mean, you're right. You're really.
I mean, he's doing this. I mean, how much? What does that do? You need.
So you got this kicked out of you for a while.
So it's OCD.
You're kind of
In my
looking.
case.
Oh, yours? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to diagnose you. I have no idea.
You could tell Bill was getting increasingly more frustrated when he would be trying to answer a question, then Ethan would just say, right, and try to finish his answer for him. However, things got really awkward when Ethan started pressing a question that Bill did not want to answer.
It seems like you're in love with your daughter, hearing you.
Ethan Klein does that all the time. He's an entertainer. If he didn't do stuff like that, he couldn't be entertaining. What the fuck? Man, I love Patrick CC, but some of this is drama. Oh, I guess he was actually right. scratch that. Patrick CC was right. If this guy actually does get mad at Ethan Klein doing his job, I hate to say it, but that's a Karen move.
Talk about her on the podcast.
Jesus Christ. Well, you're pretty perceptive. You could care about your own child.
Listen.
You also had a zillion kids, so I mean, yeah.
Really? How many siblings do you have?
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will
Yeah, by all means,
compromise your
keep talking
privacy.
about it. Is there any way you can cut this out? I'm honest, dude. Like,
Seriously?
Yeah, no, dude. There's fucking lunatics out there.
Okay.
Whoa.
Off the air.
Hila thinks he's overreacting. She couldn't help but laughing. That's like me. I do that too. I can't help but laughing when when I'm driving regular, just perfectly fine, and then somebody gets super mad, especially when they're actually making the mistake. Like one time I was on the right side of the street. I was supposed to be driving where I was driving. The person didn't realize they were driving on the wrong side of the road. And they honked at me, super pissed, and went crazy. And then they realized they were on the wrong side of the road. But it was too late. They already went crazy. And then they were like stopping me. They were like driving in front of me, trying to stop me. It was actually kind of a crazy experience. And then, but the guy, when he was looking through my windshield, all he could see me doing was laughing, because I was laughing my ass off. I couldn't even stop laughing so much that I like couldn't tell him that he's on the wrong side of the road. I was like dying of laughter because I thought it was the funniest situation ever, and that's what Hila just did. Hila was like, oh my god, this guy's overreacting, and she was laughing at it on accident. She probably didn't want to make him feel bad, but I think she has the same reaction I do when people get super mad over a really little thing. It's hella funny, especially when it's their fault. This time it's not his fault, right? But I'm just saying that sometimes it happens when they like do something and then they get mad at you for them doing it. And I'm just laughing my ass off at that point.
Here, I'll cut.
All right.
I feel an anger a little bit at first once they start getting angry, but the anger like quickly turns into laughing because like so fast that I can't get into anger, because what would happen is I see how they're like 100 and I'm only like 50 or 25% angry. They're 100% angry already. And so that flips me because I'm like, whoa, I can't, it's too late. I can't catch up to them. They're already way too mad. There's no way I could out anger them. So it like flips me instantly before I could even say anything annoying usually. So nobody could even tell that I get mad at that situation. Even when you're with me, you'll see it happen. Like people who drive with me see me laugh hysterically at the angry people. Because it's funny. It's really funny. They're like panicking and honking and yelling and screaming. Honestly, those people shouldn't be on the road. There should be some kind of test for those people. Like, do you panic on the road? And you have to be sincere and mark yes or no or something. Because if they just wouldn't panic, they would be fine. They wouldn't be like that.
Jeez.
And so this guy's panicking. That's what we just watched. A guy panicking.
I love how surprised he is. Jeez.
Well,
There's
you can mention the amount.
Absolutely crazy people out there.
You can mention the amount.
Okay, yeah.
If someone doesn't want to answer a question, a good podcaster would probably just skip right over it.
No, that's not true. Ethan is a good podcaster. That's why he pushes the question. What the fuck? I won't watch anybody's podcast who doesn't have that type of shit on there. It would be just boring.
it and move on. To give Ethan the benefit of the doubt, he was still pretty new to podcasting. Ethan clearly thought Bill's reasoning for not answering the question was silly, but some people genuinely take their privacy seriously. Ethan saying, "Geez," comes off extremely childish and will make someone with a short
I disagree, Patrick CC.
temper blow a fuse. Bill held it together for the most part, but his patience was running out.
When you were getting booed by thousands of people
I was
in
hoping
Philly.
you were. I was like, when you said my favorite
don't-
YouTube video, I was like, oh God, not the Philly thing again. And then you did the Sherry's Berries. I was like, I love this podcast. Now I hate you.
He's kidding though. This is a genuine smile. You can see the crow's feet by his eyes because he's smiling. No. Let's look at him when he's not smiling so you can see what I'm talking about.
Doesn't want to answer a question, a good podcaster would
Look. Pretty, he's not smiling, no crow's feet.
probably just skip right over it and move on. To give Ethan the benefit of the doubt, he was still pretty new to
There is no better view. Fuck it. You guys get what I mean.
podcasting. Ethan clearly thought Bill's reasoning for not answering the question was silly, but some people genuinely take their privacy seriously. Ethan saying, "Geez," comes off extremely
Oh, and what that means, by the way, if his body language doesn't match his face. I'm not an expert. I'm speculating. What that means is, I mean, if his body language doesn't match what he said, it usually just means the opposite, like he's joking. Hopefully something goes crazy here, like Patrick CC said, or it seems like a little bit dramatized video.
childish and will make someone with a short temper blow a fuse. Bill held it together for the most part, but his patience was running out.
When you were getting booed by thousands of people
I was
in
hoping
Philly.
you were. I was like, when you said my favorite
don't-
YouTube video, I was like, oh God, not the Philly thing again. And then you did the Sherry's Berries. I was like, I love this podcast. Now I hate you.
Oh no.
I love. What can I do? I love that.
I'm joking. I'm
He said he's joking. I called it out.
Go ahead, let's do it.
But do you? But, no, no, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna ask you.
Were bullied. You've been bullied before.
You've talked about this a lot.
Yeah, probably more than the grape lady.
I didn't
Yes.
realize.
No, but go ahead. Let's
now,
do it.
Well,
Let's
now
do it.
I frankly,
I like making you. I like making
to skip
you.
it.
I like making you uncomfortable.
Again, this subject was something Bill did not want to talk about, and when he called Ethan out on it, Ethan got defensive. Nevertheless, Bill talked about the Philly incident, and he wasn't happy about it.
Well, I love that moment. I love everything you do. The great.
This is how you turn it around. This is how you turn it around.
We're
Made you uncomfortable. Now you fucking sit there and compliment me.
I almost made it through without making an ass of myself. I got so close.
What are you talking about? I had a great time.
I did too. I really did.
I hope you did. I'm worried about you.
I
You-
did.
Thank God you got.
I'm playing it up. I'm playing it up.
All right.
But I'm trying to be funny, but
This was just an
Oh shit! Ethan was getting more annoyed than the Bill guy.
hour of Bill Burr shattering Ethan's ego when an online joker meets a real comedian. This situation was very similar to the Theo Vaughn episode. On the surface, these awkward podcasts with Ethan and Theo seem harmless. Bill is just being himself and ends both pods saying he had a great time, but it negatively affected Ethan more than you'd imagine. Many people called Ethan too sensitive.
and after that episode with Bill Burr, I came home, and that's when I started taking antidepressants, and I went to therapy.
Wow.
He's kidding. That's what people say out of a joke. Oh my god, I can't believe people buy this.
It was soul crushing. It felt like a rock bottom for me because I was having a hard time with the podcast and interviews in general, and that for me was just kind of like the culmination of a lot of stress.
And that this was a reality check considering all the people he had made fun of over the years. But Ethan had Bill back 1 year later, and it went great. However, there was one time where it seemed like Bill was the one who was genuinely uncomfortable around an interviewer. A small production called
Guys, and thank you for watching the up and coming commercials, because right now it's the only way I have to support my stream. So if you want, you can turn them on low volume and go do something else while the 30-second commercial played. Today I turned them down to only 30 seconds, so thank you for watching them. I appreciate it. It supports the stream. Hell yeah, motherfuckers.
Southside Steve TV on 100.5 Rock Radio interviewed Bill in 2008. Bill was immediately put off by the man's weird style and country attire, sizing him up immediately. Steve made a critical error, asking a comedian to tell a joke during an interview.
So I figure I toss you a mic and you go.
And I'm going to do stand up in front of 9 people in a radio station? No, I'm not doing that.
Well, you're taking the fun out of Southside Steve TV.
He just did the joke. They even laughed in the background.
I'll take, how about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance in your I'm a racist cowboy.
I don't know how to line dance, dude.
Okay.
He just tried it. This is a great interview.
Okay.
It's hard to tell whether Southside Steve is just a character or if he
is just a character. Look at this motherfucker, dude. He's not always in cowboy stuff.
actually is just obnoxious and clueless.
Okay.
Are you a racist?
Kinesis pays you a monthly return in gold and silver simply for storing your precious...
No, I'm not a racist.
But Bill always makes sure to get a few jabs in.
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
Bill jokingly said that this was the worst interview he has ever done. And in true Bill fashion, he did an interview years later and bonded with the man.
That last video we did, a lot of people thought that like I was seriously upset with you.
No.
At least on YouTube. I can't believe that there's morons on YouTube that...
I called it out again. Oh, he did do the joke. That was the joke. He's just that quick-witted. I fucking called that shit out. This is gonna... I didn't even plan to make a VOD out of this, but this is gonna be an interesting VOD, I think. I hope everybody sees me calling all this shit out and realizing what's happening here. I'm gonna keep it paused for all the commercials playing, I guess. Only 20 more seconds left of the commercial. Alright, sweet.
I didn't believe that
They're tools.
I was having a good time.
You think that we're not friends? You think we don't walk away from this
Yeah.
and hug it out? I like
Exactly.
this guy.
Just because he has a NASCAR accent and I sound like some prick from Boston,
Exactly.
doesn't mean we can't find a common ground.
Yet despite all of Bill's roasts, jokes, laughing at people, he hates when people make fun of comedians. Kill Tony is a live comedy show that takes place every week in Austin, Texas. The show is hosted by comedians Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redban, who invite a celebrity guest, which is typically famous comedians, to join their panel. The premise of the show is simple. Invite aspiring comedians on stage to do a 1-minute set, then roast them for how bad they are in front of a live crowd. For some people, it's their first time doing comedy. Others have been doing it for a few years. And as you can imagine, most of these sets are boring, unfunny, lacking structure, and result in awkward, loud silences from the crowd. Everyone participating in the show understands the structure, and they look at it as constructive criticism for the comedian. Theoretically, it will make them better and let them develop thicker skin. However, when Bill came on the show, he wasn't familiar with the format, and after the first guest, he hated it.
Just compliment someone, put it in the context of a joke, and an idiot will make a fool of himself. Sorry. Boo.
Sorry.
How much time do I have left? I don't...
Wow, it's a really casual set for you, huh? Maybe not.
You would have picked one guy, you would have
I'm-
done that, we were shitting on him, he thought it would work, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, this is fucking brutal. Is this gonna be an hour of this? I don't want to do this to people. It's fucking horrible. Nobody can be funny in a fucking minute. It's
Oh, yeah.
stupid.
Oh, no, it happened.
Fucking 2 seconds.
Oh, it happens a lot. Jesse just took a real
Ah, no,
bullet
fuck
there.
this. You don't even... Fuck this. This is stupid. It's stupid. You're fine. You're fine.
Bill quickly tried to console the guy and shifted the negativity and jokes towards Tony.
There's one more, and then I'm out. Alright? There's another one, mean just to be fucking mean. I'm not doing this for fucking... Trying to bring it up here.
I love it. Jesse, you did so bad, one of our guests is about to quit.
All he's doing is helping the situation. Why don't people get that? Do they hear the audience?
I don't know what else to tell
Oh,
you.
if there's a negative lining, Tony will find it. There it is, right between the ray of
And these guys probably know that because that's why they have them on here.
sunshine. There's that little nugget of negativity. You fucking smarmy fucking.
Then Bill was trying to give genuine advice to the comics.
Yeah, I would just say just slow down a little bit.
Okay.
Just slow down a little bit, and just the more you do your jokes, the more they'll come off natural. I would just slow down a little bit.
Okay.
That's it. It's not a threat. It's just, you know.
But when one of the aspiring comics actually had a good set, Bill decided to give him a few jabs.
Like what's the government?
This dude's a fucking psycho, man. This guy is gonna get his own show, and he's gonna be a fucking lunatic. Like, he has no remorse, no guilt, no fucking responsibility for your own actions. You're a fucking dirtbag, man.
For the next hour, Bill barely said anything. You could tell he didn't like the format and just kind of sat painstakingly through the entire show. Now 7 years later, Kill Tony is at its peak. They are more popular than ever and have had a broad range of massive celebrities come on, yet Bill Burr never returned. Although at times he is aggressive, intimidating,
Whoa. So he didn't like the show. I was wrong.
and quick to reveal uncomfortable truths, his jokes are a sign of showing love. He's actually a sensitive guy who just wants people to be the best version of themselves.
The market.
Wow, that was a great episode of Patrick CC. Fuck yeah. Alright guys, well, back to editing. Even though I'm completely sober, we gotta do a little bit of editing. But first, I'm gonna stop the stream just for a second. Okay. Alright guys, thank you for watching that episode of Teeth Dagger Stream. Alright guys, thank you for watching this episode of Teeth Dagger Stream. Alright guys, thank you for watching this episode of Teeth Dagger Stream. I'll see you next time on Teeth Dagger.